Judy, I think that lilacs are my favorite flowers.
Really, you have that favorite?
I wouldn't lilac to you.
Well, we have a favorite for you, a new episode of Garden Time. Welcome to Garden Time. We're at the Hulda Klager Lilac Gardens for the beginning of Lilac Days this weekend.
And later on in the show, I'm going to be talking to Ruth about my new favorite flower, the lilac.
And also coming up in the show, we'll get microscopic with Jan about this month's tips.
And we're going to show you some new wonderful plants for hanging baskets.
But first, all about Belgian Endive. Well, we're out at the Wouldn't You Tulip Festival, and we ran into these wonderful people that have a very unique vegetable to sell. And I'm with Vim. And Vim, we really don't know too much about Belgian Endive, so tell us a little bit about this unique vegetable.
Okay. Well, usually in May, June, we plant little seeds out in the field, and during the summertime they develop a root. And usually in September, October, we dig out the roots, we cut out the leaves. And the roots are going to look like this. We cut off the leaves, leave a little bit like this on top of it. I mean, the growing bud is in here. And what we do is we're going to store these roots in a cold storage at least 2 weeks. And then we're going to replant them again in trays in a dark room. And then they're going to develop a head on top of this root. It's going to look like this.
Nice, yeah.
And it takes about 3 to 4 weeks to develop the head out of this root. And once they have developed their head like this, we snap them off, clean them off a little bit, and they're ready to go.
And ready to eat.
Ready to eat, yeah.
How unusual. You don't hear about those kind of processes. Can't think of any other vegetables to do that. That's very unique.
It is pretty special to grow them twice. Yeah,
Right,
you don't hear
right.
that a lot. That's right.
And so then do you replant this, or you just kind of do something with it and start all over?
We can use the root only once. They produce one head and then it's done.
Oh, wow.
And then the root becomes like animal feed. And we're going to use new roots to plant again.
That is really interesting. So now you got a little bit about how you grow them, and now we're going to talk to Anya about how you eat them. So we really can use it a lot of different ways, the Belgian Endive.
Yes, you can. I like them raw because it keeps all the nutritions the best way. But you can also braise them or grill them or compare them in other salads. I like also that we have the red ones and the white ones because they combine very well. And the red ones, they don't bleach in other in grills or yeah.
And I see that you have like a little hors d'oeuvre here. So how is this prepared? It's really easy.
It's super easy. Just take one leaf off the head, and it's like an appetizer. So there's an apple. Oh yeah, you can do apple. This one is potato and egg salad on it.
And
yes.
I can even do that, so that's really easy.
Yes, you can. So.
And then you start saying that we can get these anytime in a grocery store. It's not just a seasonal vegetable.
No, it isn't, because we grow them twice, as Wim already said. You first have to grow the roots, and then you take the roots out as many as you need. And we have every week fresh cut endives that way.
And so do you sell locally or to restaurants? Or?
Yeah, we sell to restaurants. Chef loves to play with them, and we sell also to local stores. And at the farmers market, we are there as well. Yeah.
And I understand that kids like them too.
Well,
or your children do at least.
I wouldn't ask him. No, but if my kids really like them when they are in soup with honey or combined with apple and some fruit. It's good in a salad that way. Yeah, that's definitely working.
So your kids like them in soup with honey, but what do they really taste like?
Well, they are slightly bitter, but the red ones are a little sweeter. Yeah, that's what they taste like.
Well, just a unique taste for a unique vegetable.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Well, if you'd like to learn more about Belgian Endive, please go to gardentime.tv. We'll tell you about how you can get in contact about this unique vegetable. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway. Your car does more than get you where you need to go. It helps you live the life you love. At Capital Subaru, we're 100% dedicated to finding what works for you. And with a wide selection, personalized service, and plenty of perks, you won't need to go anywhere else to find it. Let us help you make the most of your day. Come shop your way on the Parkway.
Spring into savings and lease the safe and roomy new 2018 Subaru Impreza 2.0i Premium 5-door with eyesight for just $219 per month now at Capital.
Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
Since 1926, the Bonide Company has worked with homeowners to make their homes and gardens beautiful. If you have a garden problem, Bonide has the answer. Are you tired of pulling those persistent unwanted weeds? The answer is Bonide Cleanup Weed and Grass Killer. Cleanup kills all unwanted weeds and grasses down to the root, so your summer garden gets a clean start. Visit Bonide.com to find a local retailer and to download your free Bonide Problem Solver app for your iPhone or Droid.
Build a beautiful home inside and out at French Prairie Perennials. Inside, we have just the right creative elements to complete your decor. We offer an oasis of unusual, nature-inspired garden and home gifts and accessories. Outside, choose from our wide selection of unique dwarf conifers and sparkling companion plants. French Prairie Perennials, located between Woodburn and Wilsonville. Take exit 278 to Aurora and French Prairie Perennials.
For over 100 years, Collier Arbor Care and Bartlett Tree Experts have provided tree and shrub care services to the Portland metropolitan area.
From large tree and small shrub pruning, tree removal, and stump grinding, we can handle all your tree care needs.
Our arborists diagnose and treat your toughest insect and disease problems.
We also have organic solutions for growing and maintaining healthy gardens, as well as organic nutrition for your trees and shrubs.
Collier and Bartlett, environmentally friendly since 1907.
Well, it is a great delight for me to be standing beside Diana Yahtzee, and she does sedum stuff, and we're going to talk about that. But first, tell me this building we're in, where we're at.
We're at Vintage Revival in Ridgefield, Washington, which is 25 miles north of Portland.
And this was a charming old church, and now it's filled with all kinds of wonderful things, like these sedum designs you're making. So, first of all, I want to know, clearly you're not using traditional pottery here, so how do you pick these things and choose to use them?
Well, a vintage mall such as Vintage Revival is just a treasure trove of unique and unusual containers for planting succulents. And some of the considerations I give when I choose a container are really the form and the color, because what you have with succulents is a broad array of varieties.
Right.
And I think it's a wonderful opportunity to play with color and form and texture.
So then once you decide on the container, how is it that you come up with these adorable designs? What is it that you go through, and tell me about the plants that you choose?
Well, I choose for this one, for example, this is an aloe plant. This is a vintage container that I've adored for a long time, and I realized I wasn't using it often enough, so I needed to plant it up. And so I went to the market, found this aloe that has the same shape and color, and I'm just delighted with how they play off of each other.
And then with more intense ones like this beautiful thing, I've noticed that you even have like an air plant stuck in it. So you're not afraid to filling in with other stuff too.
Oh, not at all. In fact, that's one of the things that I've really come to appreciate about succulents is your ability to work with both tender and the cold hardy succulents that are available in our area.
Well, then I'll tell you what, why don't we take a break, and then we're going to come back and she's going to put one together for us, let you watch it. Okay, Diana, so you're going to do this container, right? Tell me about it and what you are going to put in it, what type of soil.
Okay. I chose this container because it's quirky. It's got a lot of patina and character. It's aged, and it plays off of the succulents that I've chosen, the browns and the greens. This is rotted through at the bottom a little bit. There's a few drainage holes, so I don't have to worry about that.
But on the ones that are like ceramic and don't have holes.
Right. For instance, this and this. You can choose to drill a hole in the bottom with a ceramic drill bit.
Right, but they don't
and-
need to.
No.
So what is the soil here? What have you used?
The most important part, if you're not going to drill, is using potting soil that drains quickly.
Right.
And so this is a mixture of 1/2 regular potting soil, can be the cheapest brand, and 1/2 pumice. The pumice acts as an absorbent for the extra water. And
if you're doing these kind of plants, you shouldn't be watering that often anyway, so just pay attention to that.
That is the most common cause of death for succulents, is too much water and too little light.
And then I notice a few tools here. I'm assuming that you use them for a purpose, like this is good salad tongs.
This is great for working with cacti. You got to be really careful.
Right.
Even with the small feathery little cacti, they will get you like
bite ya.
fiberglass, and you'll be picking them out for days.
Well, so then let's jump right in. We're going to plant, and then when you come back, you're going to see a completed container that is beautiful. So Diana, this is complete, but I wanted to, you told me something in break that I love. You plant hardy stuff in your garden so that when you use tropical things, you can just run out, pick these up, and put them in for filler.
Yeah, I mix the cold hardy succulents and sedums with my tender throughout the summer season, because I like to stretch my gardening budget.
Because a lot of these aren't cheap anymore. They can be kind of expensive.
They
And then
can
you
add
have
up.
a wonderful display of top dressings too that you use.
Yeah, I think that's a nice design element, to choose top dressings that echo the colors.
Right. And then I also wanted people to know that you're not afraid of doing some custom work either, are you?
That's right.
So if people wanted to buy ones that are already made or contact you, how would they go about that?
Well, they can find my designs here at Vintage Revival in
Lovely.
Ridgefield, Washington, or on my website.
Wonderful. Well, this has been fun, and seeing a person use their creativity to make beautiful things that you wouldn't expect to ever be valuable again, like vintage containers, is wonderful. So for more information, always you can go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to our website. Thank you so much, Diana.
Thank you.
Over the 30 years that our family has been in the nursery industry, we've learned that anyone can supply a customer with plants and garden supplies. But it's supplying those plants and supplies backed by a knowledgeable staff that can transform a garden and take it from ordinary to extraordinary. That's what we do at Sagawa Nursery. Why be ordinary when you can be extraordinary? Sagawa Nursery, growing beyond the ordinary.
Since 1982, the Wall has been making local gardens beautiful, naturally. Whether you need a new wall, concrete patio, fire pit, or driveway, the Wall's expert craftsmen can build it. We back up our work with a 5-year warranty, so you'll know it'll last. We use the highest quality materials, including stamped colored concrete, natural stone, and we're the leader in using recycled concrete. Create an outdoor environment you'll enjoy for years, with the help of your friends at The Wall. Celebrate a spring tradition. Visit the Hulda Klager Lilac Gardens during the annual Lilac Days. Open daily from 10 to 4. See hundreds of blooming lilacs. Tour Hulda's Victorian home and gift shop. Take exit 21 off I-5 in Woodland, Washington.
Welcome to Blooming Junction, where it's easy to connect with nature. At Blooming Junction, you'll find beautiful, healthy plants, good, fresh food, and a place to regain peace and calm in your life. We have an unsurpassed collection of unique and distinctive plants and the expertise to help any gardener be successful. And we feature blooming advantage plants. Come check out Blooming Junction for an inspiring experience in the garden or in the kitchen. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens.
I am surrounded by colorful baskets, and I'm with Katie at French Prairie Gardens. And Katie, this is gorgeous in here.
Thank you.
It has been so cold, and it still looks nice. I know we're inside, but really the color's starting.
It is. Really, you can see the color coming out. They're not really growthy because we haven't had a lot of heat units, but the color's there.
Good.
And they are ready to go home with you.
So we're going to talk about some selections that you could take home for your own home. So start us off with this one. That's really nice.
Yeah, so this is our part shade basket. So this can have sun till about 2, but it does have a fuchsia in it, so it does want that protection from the afternoon sunshine.
That is kind of nice, but then if we have really dark shade, you have something for that.
Yeah, so this is our full shade basket. So that fuchsia on top is called Autumnal, and it's a brand new one. And you can see the bright colors with that, and the begonia really helps pop in that dark area.
That
and
is
it will
nice.
thrive.
Oh, really? That is great. And then for all the sunny places, you got lots of color for that.
The sun people always have the best choices, but you know, we live in whatever we live with, and we'll find you a basket no matter what your area. But some of the fun new ones this year, some of the striped petunias. So this petunia is main stage blueberry, so it's got a really dark center, and then it kind of veins out from there. And then this next one, everybody's a fan of Bacopa, and this one is probably the largest Bacopa I have ever seen.
It's huge.
It's a Bomba Secrets Bacopa, and it's got a little tinge of pink to it, which is kind of fun.
Very pretty.
And back again this year is our Peak Sky. That is that spotty petunia, the sister to the night sky, which is the blue variety.
That is pretty.
And then in this basket back here, we have a couple of new things. This pink petunia was new last year. It's called Color Rush. It's a very vigorous petunia. And then the blue and white striping is a headliner blueberry swirl. So, and it's actually a cousin of the night sky and pink sky. So lots of fun color this year.
Katie, you all do such a great job of making these baskets, but when we take them home, we want to keep them this beautiful. So give us some tips.
Oh yes, so regular watering is important, and I know it's hard for people. They think it's cold, it's rainy, they don't need watered. Well, yes, they do. You want to probably watch them every couple of days, and you gotta kind of lift from the bottom.
Sure.
If they're heavy, they're probably good. You can put your finger in there, but you're going to want to water at least twice a week to more as it starts warming up.
Right, and then what about fertilizer? Is it too early to do that? What should we do?
It's not. I mean, they do get fertilizer right now, so if you're to come today and get them, take them home, you probably have about 2 weeks.
All right.
And then we suggest what we use is Jack's Classic 20-20-20. Every 2 weeks, although I do have customers that do it once a week, and they remember, and their baskets thrive and do great all season.
Great tips. And then there's always events out here, so what's going on?
Yeah, so our first event is our Mother's Day brunch, and so Mother's Day is right around the corner, and we do a farm-style brunch on the farm. We do have a limited seating, so if you're interested in that, you can go ahead and start booking and book online through our website, and come bring mom out to a beautiful place with some great country food and just great flowers to take home.
It is so true. So you can go to French Prairie Gardens website to sign up for that wonderful Mother's Day brunch and get the directions to come out here and pick up your really beautiful baskets. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Portland Nursery, where spring is our favorite time of year. It's the time to prepare your garden for planting. We invite you to get a jump on spring with our huge selection. Let Portland Nursery's staff of professionals help with groceries you can grow. We've got the seeds, veggie starts, and expertise to ensure your success. Visit portlandnursery.com for a list of classes and special events. Portland Nursery, helping make your backyard your favorite destination at 50th and Stark and 90th and Division.
Celebrate a spring tradition. Visit the Hulda Klager Lilac Gardens during the annual Lilac Days. Open daily from 10 to 4. See hundreds of blooming lilacs. Tour Hulda's Victorian home and gift shop. Take exit 21 off I-5 in Woodland, Washington.
When you plant your flower baskets and containers this year, consider Black Gold All-Purpose Potting Mix for the best results. This worm castings-enriched, well-drained potting soil has a controlled release fertilizer to feed your plants up to 6 months. Black Gold All-Purpose Potting Mix now contains resilience for enhanced plant growth. Available at garden centers everywhere. For more information, visit blackgold.bz. All the riches of the earth.
Join the Oregon Garden for Digging in the Dirt, presented by Columbia Bank. Beginning at 10 a.m., you'll enjoy a day outdoors planting our spring annual flowers. After you're done, sit back and relax in the beautiful garden with a brunch buffet, live music, and bottomless mimosas. You'll also receive a piece of the garden to take home with you. Enjoy the day digging in the dirt. Check out the Oregon Garden website for more information.
Color, color, color. When you think of your garden, think of color. Then think of Margie's Farm and Garden. High quality plants and great customer service are our trademark.
It's time to start thinking about your summer vegetable garden. This weekend, our 4-inch vegetable starts are on sale, 4 for $5.
Vegetables or herbs, hanging baskets or perennials, trust Margie's Farm and Garden, just off I-5 near Aurora.
Well, we always love coming out to the Hulda Klager Lilac Gardens because it's a beautiful place to visit, and I'm happy that I'm here with Ruth again. And we're going to talk about, of course, lilacs and some stuff this year before we talk about the event. So, how has the weather affected these lilacs? Is there anything temperate? Because there's a lot of stuff that went kind of off this year in gardens.
Yeah, actually they're a little delayed maybe, but other than that, no, they're not hurt ugly-wise.
Really?
Yeah.
And so, like, these behind us, both of them are beautiful. I believe the one right behind you is Josie.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about this.
Yeah, Josie is one that has been around for a while, although hasn't gotten much attention. It's one that reblooms.
Wow, nice.
And the big thing now is the bloomerang that reblooms, and they've made. But I looked it up and found that the Josie blooms as much as the bloomerang,
Wonderful.
and it reblooms on its own.
So Ruth, tell me about this beautiful thing behind me because it's just starting to really blossom.
Yeah, we love this one. It's called Lilac Sunday. It was developed back at the Arnold Arboretum in Harvard, and it is a great lilac. It has a kind of a weepy way about it. And but its color is just gorgeous when it gets going.
Because even in the lilac family, there are ones that do bloom earlier, clearly, and then later on. So you really can extend your love of lilac blooms if you choose those to put into your gardens.
Right.
And then let's talk about a little bit about pruning, because I know for years in this industry, so many people have different ideas, and you've actually got some new information that's come out lately.
Well, yes. Of course, you don't prune in the fall because you'll lose all your blossoms in the spring if you do. You prune as soon as it finishes blooming, and you take out the ones you're going to take out all the way to the ground, because that keeps them from getting diseased.
Because there was a time when it was about a foot that you left them up. So,
right.
But now they're saying just
the society
take it
has changed their mind on that one, and it really is nice because the new growth starts out prettier, I think.
Right, exactly. And then they get down lower so you actually see the blooms if they're 20 foot tall.
Yeah, the idea is to get them nose height.
Right, exactly. And then let's talk about this great event that happens every year here. Tell me what's going on and what we can expect.
Well, we're open 3 weeks. We always end on Mother's Day, and we're starting this weekend, the 21st.
And there's been a little bit of change in price as far as the weekends, right?
Right, yes. It's a $5 price on the weekends. We have so much more work that has to be done around here to get ready that we have to get our price back again. But through the year, it's still a $3 gate, but during Lilac Days, it's $5.
So Ruth, I have to say that I have also bought gifts for my mother in this gift shop, which is charming.
It really is. They've taken the carriage house and made it into a gift shop. You wouldn't even know it was a carriage house anymore. And we have lots of good smelling stuff.
And plants too, lilacs that they can buy and take home.
Right, yes, those quite a few different varieties this year.
Perfect.
And those are all over behind the gift shop.
Wonderful. Well, we've been out here so many times, not only to film, but I've actually brought my own mother out here several times. So if you've never been here, or even if you have, just take the small drive up here and you can go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you all the directions and the hours and everything, and then spend $5, which is a nominal fee, to see the beauty of the Hulda Klager Lilac Gardens. Ruth, always a pleasure, my dear. Thank you.
Thank you.
No matter what shade your green thumb is, you can find the plants and the help you need at Wavra Farms. We're filled with an astounding array of colorful plants to fill your garden. In addition to wonderful annuals and perennials, we are known for our hanging baskets. We also have all your garden essentials, and we have great garden gifts too. From beginner to expert, you'll find something new and different with every visit. Wavra Farms, located off Highway 22, exit 5, east of Salem.
Millions of tulip bulbs transform the Iverson Farm into one of Oregon's most beautiful events. The family invites you to the Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival. Explore our tulip fields and market, kids activities, and great food and wine. The Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival, open daily 9 to 6, now through April 30th.
DRAM is celebrating 75 years of design and manufacturing of quality watering tools. DRAM products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. DRAM for lawn and garden, available at garden centers near you.
The health and beauty of your garden starts from the ground up, and healthy soils begin at Grimm's Fuel. For the best in garden mulch, blended soils, and bark dust, choose Grimm's. U-Haul delivered or installed, Grimm's can do it. And if you're looking for a new lawn, Grimm's can do that too with our special lawn installation service. Grimm's is also the area's largest recycler of yard debris. The foundation for a healthy garden begins at Grimm's Fuel.
Your center for home and garden decor, Garden Gallery Ironworks has everything you need to make your home a showcase. For the inside, we have a great selection of Kelly Ray Roberts items, and our farmhouse style department is full of one-of-a-kind gifts. For the outside, we have arbors, trellises, planting beds, and garden decor. Everything to make your neighbors jealous. Check out our new website and then come visit us in Hubbard. Garden Gallery Ironworks.
Well, I am standing in an office with Jan for the tips of the month because we're also going to get some fun information today too, besides tips. But let's start with, I see soil, I'm thinking seeds.
Right. There's only 6 seeds, and it's Cobea scandens, which is a cup and saucer vine, which I've propagated years ago and had great luck with. And the last few years haven't. They rot really easily if you overwater them.
So you said 6 seeds, you mean literally one seed per container?
Per
wow.
pot. That's all that's in the package. I mean,
wow.
They're not cheap seeds.
Yeah.
But they're fun to do, and this is a picture of a cup and saucer vine right here.
They're so beautiful.
They are beautiful, and so I'm going to try it again and see if it works. And if I don't, I probably won't be doing it again if I can't get them. This year I have them in the house, in the kitchen, under the skylight. And then here's my curiosity. Nothing's coming up yet. Of course, they've only been planted less than a week. So I had to dig this one out to see if the seed
just to
was
see if it's viable. And the reason that you're doing those, though, is because we can easily buy these plants at garden centers already grown. But you really love growing seeds.
I do.
It's something that you're passionate about.
But maybe if I saw one in a garden center, I'd stop doing this.
They'll be there eventually.
That's right. And the other thing that's kind of fun and interesting is that that vines go different directions. Not all vines twine the same. So there's the left to right and right to left. Right. There's an anti-clockwise or counterclockwise and clockwise. So if you're trying to train a vine and you're trying to train it where you think it ought to go, just look at it first and see which way it's twisting.
And you know, I know a lot of times with customers I've talked to, that baffles them. We're just not aware of that.
Yeah.
But it really is, it's a science thing. It really occurs.
It is. And it's kind of like the myth that on the other side of the equator, the toilet water goes the other direction, but it doesn't. The equator doesn't make any difference. It's the plant.
It's the plant itself.
Yeah, and so like an example of clockwise would be runner bean or morning glory. Climbing hydrangea is a counterclockwise. Wow. So just take a look.
And looking at it, once it starts, you'll know right away which sites to do, because that's all
where
it'll
it wants to go.
And then I'm seeing a lot of writing and leaves and a weird little microphone at your desk.
So, a microscope, yes. It's
I said microphone. We'll hear whatever's going on in the leafing.
That's okay. It's a digital viewer. It's called a plug-and-play digital viewer. And I'm not selling these or anything.
No, you're not.
But I love gadgets anyway. And you can use it.
Wow.
Look how, and your computer is the monitor there. And based on how tight you get it, you can see this is a camellia with eye relief virus, and Some people think it's a variegated camellia, but it's not. And if you wanted it to green up the leaf, you could put magnesium on it and the chlorophyll will come back. But it isn't going to hurt the plant at all. And here I have examples of ivory leaf virus on a leaf, same plant, and this is a normal leaf. So they would all look like this if they didn't have the virus.
Yeah.
And over here we have a skimmia with sun scald. And so it's not an insect, it's not a disease, it's an environmental condition.
Right, right.
And up here we have skimmia with spider mites on it, little insects that suck all the juice out. It may be a little bit hard to see, but there's little tiny fine white spots, but where they've sucked the chlorophyll out.
Right. Yeah.
So that's spider mite. And normally it's when they're in a lot of sun. And here's the normal leaf that's not affected. Here is a Bergenia, which is being eaten by root weevil. And so it's an edge notching. Rhododendrons the same, azaleas, lots of other plants get eaten by root weevil. And this is root weevil on a piece of Daphne. And then here's the azalea lacebug on, it's on a rhododendron. And you can see it's the same, it looks the same as the skimmia spider mite, but it's different.
And the microscope helped you identify that because you could see what the differences were.
Well, you can see the differences, and then later in the season, you'll be able to see the insects on the underside.
Well, you know, sometimes when the weather is kind of still cold and wet, there are plenty of things you can do to still find information that will help your garden. So that's our tips of the month this month. Thank you so much, Jen. We're going to do this again next month, okay?
Okay.
Well, you know, it is tomato time, but I'm at Al's Garden Center with Eve, and Eve, you have a tomato special event for kids, which is so much fun, and so tell us about it.
Yeah, we do. We're super excited. This Saturday, the 21st, we are going to have our Al's Great Big Tomato Contest, and it's going to be so much fun. Each child gets to come in from 11 to noon and pick up a 4-inch start of a beefsteak tomato. And then they grow it throughout the summer, and then at the end in August they'll come back for one of our kids clubs and we'll do a weigh-in. And so they're going to weigh they're going to bring their biggest tomato in, and we're going to weigh them. And then we have great prizes. First prize has a $70 gift card and free kids club for a year, and some gardening goodies, and then there's second and third prizes too. So it's going to be so much fun.
That is so much fun. And over the years, Al's always wants to get kids gardening, and what a great way to get them into the garden and get them a free tomato and all of the support, because you're going to teach them how to plant this tomato.
Absolutely, yeah. They're going to go home with everything they need. They're going to have, you know, gardening tips and everything. And then if they have any questions, they can always contact us through our Facebook page with their parents' permission, and they can come in and ask questions. And anytime at Kids Club too, they can ask any questions.
Well, we always need tips about tomatoes, so maybe give us some of those tips for us big kids too.
Oh, okay. So one of the biggest things is tomatoes. There are two different kinds. There are determinate and indeterminate.
Okay.
And the indeterminate is more of a vining, which is the beefsteak that we're giving the kiddos, which means it's going to get big. It's going to be really tall and grow and get crazy. So you're going to want a cage. You're going to want to cage that
And
animal.
they're fun cages.
Yes. So we have all these bright, wonderful cages to keep them under control and keep them in a smaller space so that you can still pick and have this big, wonderful tomato.
Exactly.
You're also going to want them to grow really big and make big tomatoes for the weigh-in. So you would probably be best to put some garden lime down when you first plant it.
All right.
And that will give it, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Calcium?
Yes.
Yes. It will give it calcium to start growing a great big tomato. And then we also have tomato tone, which is a great fertilizer to do throughout the season as it's growing. And obviously, for our kids, you want sunlight, you want water, and you want fertilizer and good soil. So, and the biggest thing is you can actually plant these deeper than what they're currently planted. This whole pot goes in the ground.
I was wondering about that because it's a very odd looking pot.
Yes, yeah, it's cocoa fiber.
Okay.
And it's biodegradable, and so you can put the whole thing down in the ground and plant this little guy up a little taller. It'll put out roots where it is and make it a much stronger plant.
So Eve, what are those details for today?
You must come in between 11 and noon. The child must be present and be 13 and under, and there are only 70 starts per location.
Well, just a few details to remember for today, so don't forget, go to any of the Al stores and get into this contest. Thanks so much.
It's going to be a blast.
Your garden begins here with the people in purple, the ones you meet inside each Al's Garden and Home store. Come celebrate our 70th year with us. More than ever, we're working to bring you a truly exceptional gardening experience. Brighten up your yard with flats of locally grown annuals. Mix and match your favorites and save $5 per flat. The sale ends soon, so hurry in for the best selection. The best gardens begin and continue to grow at Al's Garden and Home in Woodburn, Sherwood, Gresham, and Wilsonville.
Millions of tulip bulbs transform the Iverson Farm into one of Oregon's most beautiful events. The family invites you to the Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival. Explore our tulip fields and market, kids activities, and great food and wine. The Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival, open daily 9 to 6, now through April 30th.
Create a beautiful living space both inside and out with the help of Terra Casa.
Outside, you'll find pottery, fountains, and decor to make your garden unforgettable.
And inside, there are home furnishings and just the right accents to make your home warm, inviting, and most importantly, comfortable.
Terra Casa has a huge selection of merchandise to fit any home or budget. Plus, we still have all the unique and distinctive gifts that you have come to expect from Terra Casa.
Terra Casa in downtown Damascus.
DRAM is celebrating 75 years of design and manufacturing of quality watering tools. DRAM products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. DRAM for lawn and garden, available at garden centers near you.
Come to where the color is. Come to Egan Gardens. We've worked hard growing healthy plants for you so that your gardening is easy. Add sparkle to your garden with our perennials, container plants, and skillfully designed baskets and planters.
We have a great selection of beautiful blooming azaleas and dwarf rhodis in 1 gallon size, and they're 20% off today and Sunday only.
Egan Gardens, where it's all about the plants. We're located west of I-5 at exit 263 on River Road.
I'm at Sugawa Nursery today with Brian, and Brian, you know, some people just don't have the room to put a Japanese maple in the ground, so really you have some other varieties that can go in a container.
Well, yes. What the idea would be is 12 months out of the year we try to get, you know, interest going. So Japanese maples work really well for the upright plant, and then we have some other things that we consider dripping over the pot, or you know, seasonal color, foliage color.
Beautiful.
You don't really see too much flowers here, but this would be good for 12 months out of the year.
Right. And so tell us a little bit about these varieties, because they're all so different. So let's start with the fern leaf here.
Well, yeah, Japanese maples offer, you know, a good seasonal change throughout the season. When they first leaf out, during the summer, in the fall. This one here in front of us, fern leaf is the name of it, fern leaf full moon maple. What is really, it's probably one of the best to me for fall coloration. It's right up there with like burning bush, that nice reddish orange color.
Beautiful.
It is really nice. So nice kind of off green now, and it kind of turns even more to kind of like olive green, but the fall coloration is where you'll really see it.
And then this one's already red. That's
right.
Beautiful.
What's nice about this one, Shayna, right? Smaller leaf, but it retains that red coloration throughout the year. And it's kind of a semi-dwarf, I guess, 6 to 8 foot tall, so very nice for containers. Kind of a nice, doesn't stay too dwarf, but it fills up the container.
Nice. And what about this last one with the red edges?
Well, what's nice about it, exactly, the red edges. So during the summer, you'll get these, you know, they kind of get a little more intensified. This one is Sumagaki. This is what it's going to look like throughout the year, and then fall coloration, but nice interest during the whole spring, yes.
Beautiful. So we picked out one of these, and there's some more ideas here. So how do we match up a container to the plant?
Well, that's just it. The containers have as much to offer as the plants do. I mean, these come in every shapes and forms, colors. So what's nice about this one being elevated a little more, so you could actually enhance your, you know, cascading plants or little plants that fall over, drape over the container to kind of accent with that.
Perfect.
But yeah, this is just a weeping lace leaf maple spring delight variety, but that's what you could do to just kind of have this kind of hang over the pot like that.
And then this one maybe is more broad spreading, so this like low bowl would be nice.
What they call these belly pots or something like that. You could actually have some little dwarf little perennials along with that. This is definitely an upright plant, so you have a lot of space down there to do something with. So
very nice.
I think it'd be really attractive with some little dwarf containers like
And then
dwarf
some
plants.
tips about planting. What should we, I see that you have some soil and fertilizer.
Let's see, we would probably, you wouldn't want to use your probably garden soil, so I would probably recommend just a good potting soil.
And Brian, many soils have fertilizer included in them, but do you recommend something else?
Yeah, after a while, a lot of the nutrients gets leached out or watered out because we're watering it, once or whatever, so
During
many
the
days.
season, sure.
Yeah, throughout the season, so it doesn't hold too much. The nursery always recommends, most nurseries always recommend some kind of nutrients being put in there. This is kind of a slow release, but as long they don't really require too much, nutrients, so just adequate enough. But because you are watering it quite often.
And that one's formulated for
Yes, that one is
maples.
for Japanese maples. Yeah.
And then I love these containers that your staff did. So really, if we are so at a loss that we don't know what to do, you guys can help us do
Definitely,
this.
we can help you pick out some. There's all sorts of colors, shapes, and along with the maples too. So,
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, you can come up to Sagawa's nursery, talk to Brian and his staff. You can pick out any kind of maple. They have huge amount for the garden and for your containers. So if you have any other questions about that, go to Garden Time. We'll click you over to their website, find out all that information on how to get up here. Thanks so much, Brian.
Thanks, Judy.
So I am sitting here with Dr. Ken Weiser, and we are at Providence Hospital. And we get books quite often at Garden Time. We just received this one, and it made us start thinking about so many gardeners that have allergies and struggle, especially in springtime, by being outside. So we thought, who better to talk to than Dr. Ken Weiser here about allergies, because that's really what you look at, isn't it?
Yeah, we look at the whole person. How can we reduce people's reaction to allergens without drugs, essentially?
Certainly. And so then, from a gardening person's perspective, it would seem like to me, there's always going to be pollen and stuff out there that we're going to struggle with, but there are some things that we can do. Let's talk about some of those.
Yeah, well, you can either hold your breath for a really long time, and that's not going to work.
No.
Or you can do lots of little things that are going to take you away from the threshold of misery. The threshold of misery of sneezing, coughing, tiredness, runny eyes, all that stuff. So the main thing is really hygiene.
Really?
Now, hygiene's hard to do outside, but you can do it. You can wear a mask, a surgical mask or some kind of mask, even a hat, and then they have the hats with a big, cloth around. Hydration, really important.
Really?
Yes, really, really important. Drinking lots of fluids, because basically you breathe the allergens into your nose and sinuses. And if you get dry, they get stuck there. And if they get stuck there, you react. So you have little cilia, little hairs that go brrrr, all the way down to the back of your throat, and then the allergens are supposed to go into your stomach, and stomach acid's supposed to kill them. But if they stay there, we have problems. So lots of hydration. And as you garden, take breaks. Drink water, wash your hands, because we get a lot of allergens from our hands. You're gardening, you touch your face, you touch your nose, you touch your eyes, you touch your clothes. And then hygiene in terms of washing out your nose and sinuses.
It's a teapot.
It's a nose teapot.
Oh, that's lovely.
So you can wash out the allergens from your sinuses too, not just your hands. So you can use this with saline solution, and there's lots of different kinds, a neti pot or other things. And you can do that a few times a day. Also, when you get home, hygiene, wash your clothes, wash your bedding, especially your pillowcases, because this stuff's going to persist. So lowering your exposure is really, really, really important.
And so even though there's all kinds of things out there that as a medicine perspective can help us, doing a lot of these things really is a big step in beginning to alleviate some of those issues that we would have.
Yeah, the medicines, the OTC medicines, they're just going to stop your body from doing what it wants to do, which is trying to get rid of the allergens. But if you have less allergens, you're not going to react.
And you really, I think that you want to have some type of reaction. Our bodies are built to react to things. So if we stop all those, then we really don't know what might actually be going on.
We don't know what's going on, your body can't get rid of it, and you don't know what's actually triggering it.
Yeah.
So your body is telling you something's wrong, great. So go upstream to stop what's causing that.
Yeah.
Go to the cause, not to the effect.
So certainly, Dr. Weiser, at this time of year, we're all thinking pollen, but there's a host of other things too that people can be allergic to.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Allergies are basically steps up a ladder, and then you hit the top of the ladder and you hit your threshold, and boom, you start getting reactions.
Yeah.
So there can be food allergies that are partially up that ladder. People allergic to dairy, wheat, chocolate, sugar, whatever it is. There are allergens in food. There are people allergic to certain medicines, certain soaps. People can be allergic to anything, and they can all add up, and not just pollen, but lots of different things in the environment. And as the seasons change and we get drier and we get outside more, all of a sudden, boom, 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 and then we think it's pollen, but pollen may be the last thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So really, you got to look at this as a whole person. What do you eat? Are you sleeping enough? You get enough fruits and veggies? You're not eating too much sugar? You avoiding the things that you know you don't digest well or you react with? Because they can all add up to where, boom, you get hit. So you need to get worked up. Talk to your doctor, talk to your local health practitioner, find out what's happening with your body, your reactions, and walk on back down that ladder so you don't react.
So, and that's very smart. So take a less myopic view of just pollen and maybe look at the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, it's that time of year where we have to deal with things like this if we're in the garden. So you can go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to the Providence website where they have some wonderful information. Or go to your doctor, check with him, and see if you can find out how to alleviate these problems so you can really enjoy your garden all year long. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Since 1987, French Prairie Gardens has brought you the best in farm fresh produce, beautiful plants, and memorable family events. Spring is here, and now is the time to get your garden ready with our wide selection of bedding plants and hanging baskets. Experience the best the country has to offer at French Prairie Gardens.
Is your old appliance wasting money? Cut appliance utility use 50%. Save now at Standard TV and Appliance on hundreds of Energy Star models. Huge savings on a Whirlpool stainless steel French door refrigerator, now only $12.99. Give the grid a break with a Samsung front load washer for just $6.34. Or save big on a KitchenAid Deluxe stainless steel dishwasher, now only $6.49.
Save now, save later. Setting the standard since 1947. Standard TV and Appliance.
Extend your growing season and escape to your own garden retreat in a Solex greenhouse from the Greenhouse Catalog. There is nothing like the taste of a bright, red, juicy, homegrown tomato. The bright, warm, durable design of a Solex greenhouse provides plenty of room to nurture your plants and enjoy your passion for years. Choose from 5 Solex greenhouse models or build your own with Solex panels. For all your gardening, greenhouse, and specialty growing needs, visit greenhousecatalog.com or give us a call.
Hey everybody, this is Brian Bauman from Bauman's Farm and Garden. We've got some great tips to help you in the garden this year. We're going to combine 2 of our favorite trends in gardening today. We're going to talk about edible gardening and container gardening and put them together. First, we're going to get started with a brand new container. One of the things you always want to check for is to make sure it has good drainage. This particular pot did not have holes in the bottom. So we're going to flip it over, take a drill, put probably 4 holes in the bottom of it. Once we've got the holes in the bottom, we're going to take a little tip that we like to do at the farm. We take some of our empty pots and containers that we have laying around in the garage or in the back. We're going to kind of crush those up, put those in the bottom here. That gives us a lightweight, easy drainage in the bottom of our pot. Then we're going to take some really good all-purpose potting soil and put right over the top of them. Once we have all that done, we're going to take some of our favorite new edible plants and put them in the container. This is a brand new raspberry called Raspberry Shortcake. One of the things that you want to be careful with this is a lot of it fruits on second-year canes. So you can see these nice big canes coming with buds in the top. That's going to give us our fruit this year. At the end of the season, take these canes out and you've got brand new ones for next season. Now that we have the raspberry planted firmly in the middle of the pot, I've picked out a good mixture of things to kind of put around the outside that look great, are going to smell good, and that we can use in our kitchen. One of my favorites to use to add a little bit of color is, of course, these beautiful violas. The blossoms are actually edible, but they also add some color to our container. So we'll plant these in the side, We also are going to find some lettuce starts. We've got a good romaine. We've got some salad mix we're going to throw in there, and also some trailing sugar snap peas. And of course, finally, some herbs. So let's put all of those together and see what we can come up with. Alrighty, I've got everything all put together. With my raspberries, herbs, and veggie starts, I'm already getting hungry. For more information, go to www.baumanfarms.com.
1,112, 1,113.
William, what are you counting?
I'm counting all of our wonderful friends on Facebook.
And we invite everyone to go to Facebook and like us and follow us.
All you have to do is go to gardentime.tv and hit the Facebook icon, which is in the top right-hand corner.
It's the best place to get the most updated information on Garden Time.
So all you have to do is click us and like us.
At Garland Nursery, you'll find
top quality plants,
4 generations of garden know-how,
fun and fantastic garden decor,
and the best in garden supplies.
Come visit us at Garland Nursery.
Since 1937, inspiring beautiful and bountiful gardens.
In the wintertime, we all want to be out in our gardens, and there is a couple of ideas we're going to share with you today about putting in new fence posts, and this is the perfect time of year to do it. And Judy, I see you're digging the hole.
I think I got the short end of the straw here. But you know, this is the cornerstone for whenever you want to put up some kind of structure in your garden. When you put a fence post in, you really want to dig down about 12 to 18 inches because you want to fill that with cement so that you have a strong support for any of your projects.
Yeah, because in the future you might want to be adding a trellis or some kind of gate or something on it, so you want to make sure that's really sturdy. Now, we suggest putting in just a couple of inches of pea gravel into the bottom of the hole. And we do that, Judy, because look at this. This is the one that we took out of the ground.
Right, and you know, and if this would have had pea gravel at the bottom, this post wouldn't have been resting right on the mud and starting to rot here. Plus, they didn't use enough cement. This is really just a small portion of the cement you could have used. Then the soil went above it and it started to rot the fence post. So really, it was causing a lot of trouble because it wasn't installed properly.
Yeah, and we suggest about 1 60-pound bag or just a regular bag that you buy at like a hardware store of concrete per post. Now remember, if you're putting in something that might have a gate on it, or if you are going to add trellises, you might even want to put a little bit more because the posts themselves are pretty strong and pretty heavy.
One of the first things that you should do when you are setting up a line of fence posts is to make sure that you're on your side of the property and they're all straight in a line. You also want to make sure you're not digging into any gas lines or power lines, so don't forget to call before you dig.
Now, before you pour the concrete, make sure that you set your posts and brace them so that they're level. Then be sure to double check them and check them one more time. We're using a wheelbarrow to mix the concrete. Now this method of mixing concrete is called a wet mix. There are some people that just pour the dry concrete directly into the hole and then let the moisture from the earth, solidify it. However, to us, we think that that probably isn't the best idea because you might get some dry spots, and if you wet mix the concrete, it'll actually form itself around the post from the beginning. So it's been about a week since we've put these posts in, and we've waited that long because it is, it's a little chilly outside, and we wanted to give the concrete really the best time of curing. We've removed the braces, made sure everything was still level, and now what are you doing, Judy?
Well, I'm adding these metal braces in because they're going to be the cross pieces for the fence. If you are doing a trellis or an arbor, you wouldn't need these.
That's true, and but we do since we're doing a fence, and they're really simple to put in. You just have to make sure they're level. And then, once they're in there, do you need the hammer, Jude?
Well,
Here you
can
go.
Use it. All right, thanks.
Then you just slide them in. You might have to tap them down a bit.
That was easy.
And once that's done, you make sure that you take a screw or a nail and tighten them into the place so it makes them stable. And then really we can start putting the fence post or the fence itself on.
Yeah, we'll just be continuing this line here. You know, in future shows, we'll be showing you how to do an arbor, so stay tuned.
This is just to go and show you that there's always something to do in the garden, even in the wintertime.
Well, this time of year, we're all getting our gardens ready, we're getting our patios ready, and so why not come out to Coastal Farm and Ranch, where I am today with Jess. And Jess, you really have a full service store here. You have everything for our lifestyle, from farm to ranch to garden.
No, we really do. And you know, most of the time, it's funny. People see farm and ranch in the name, and they think, oh, well, they're just going to have cow food and pig food and, you know, Wrangler jeans or something. But you know what? We're so much more than that. You know, like we talked about today, we saw chickens in the store. We have everything you need for chickens. But also, we're in the garden center. I mean, we have a wide variety of plants, from vegetables to perennials, annual stuff to make it look good. And not only that, but we carry grills, tables,
It's
chairs.
beautiful.
Everything you need to throw that party, you know, in your summer, in your backyard.
That is so true, and really the staff here is wonderful to talk with and help us out. You have everything that we could use. You have tools and even like sloggers and things like that for us, so we're ready to do that gardening.
Oh yes, and not only ready to do the gardening, but ready if you want to build that new patio. You know, we have all the tools you need to get out there and dig it and make it all nice, and then, you know, be ready to entertain and serve people on your back door.
Jess, we've all heard that phrase these days about farm to table, and really this is the place to come because Coastal has it all.
No, we really do. Like we said, you have the feed to raise and feed those animals up, and you know, quite frankly, we have the grill to grill them up later. You know, so we have everything you need. Whether it's a Traeger grill, smokers, we even have portable propane backyard, you know, fireplaces that you can take around with you if you want to go somewhere else and entertain out in the wild, per se. You know.
And I thought you would have brought the hot dogs. I was hoping you would.
I thought you guys were, so you know.
No miscommunication. So we are actually at the Albany store today, but Jess, you have many stores in the area.
We do. We have 17 locations and growing across the Pacific Northwest, all the way from Mount Vernon all the way to Klamath Falls, Oregon.
And where can we find all this information?
So all this information on our website, www.coastalfarm.com. And one of the things we like is, you know, not only do we have experts in the store that can help you with questions on chickens to what plants to plant in your backyard, but we have all that information and more on our website with our blog and stuff, how-to videos, links to all those kind of things to help you live that outdoor lifestyle that you want to live.
That is true. And so, you know, farm to table, Coastal is that same message right here in their store. So if you have any other questions, please go to Garden Time. We'll click you over that website, and you can come out and find everything that you need for this season. Thanks so much, Jess.
Hey, thank you.
We want to thank you for watching today, and happy Earth Day to everyone.
We also wanted to remind you that the Hulda Klager Lilac Days starts this weekend and goes through Mother's Day. For more information on that, you can always go to gardentime.tv.
And you can always go to gardentime.tv about any information you need about today's show or any show.
Thanks for staying with us today, and we'll do it all again next week, right here on Garden Time.
The proceeding was a paid program of the Guston Creative Group and its sponsors.